Today, I'm going to talk about how you might think that you're blocked in manifestation, in receiving money, love, abundance, whatever your desires are. You're not blocked, you're actually dysregulated. I talked about this quite a bit in the last video, but I want to go a little bit deeper because I think that this is key in learning to manifest in a way that is sustainable and that actually feels good and that is replicatable. There's a lot of, I was going to say disinformation, but I don't think that that is actually the correct word. It's like not quite the full picture around when people think that you have a manifestation block. And most of the time, that's not what's going on. What it is your nervous system is dysregulated and you're trying to manifest from survival mode. And once you learn to regulate and to be regulated most of the time, manifestation happens way easier and with less friction. Here's the thing, you don't need to have better or more affirmations. You don't need to have a higher vibration. You need your body to feel safe in the present moment and also having what you want. Okay. So here's the thing. People think that they're blocked. You think that you're blocked because you've been doing the work. You've been doing affirmations. You've been journaling. You've been maybe even tapping and doing some of the deeper limiting belief work, mindset work. And you have shifted from having a lack or scarcity mindset into more of a limitless and abundance mindset, but you still are not receiving what it is that you want. You're feeling tense. You tend to be hyper aware, hyper vigilant of your surroundings, your circumstances, what's going on around outside of you, or even your thoughts and what's happening in your brain. You are constantly watching for signs, right? So it's like, is it coming? You check your phone. Did I get the text? Did I get the text message? Did I uh make a match on a dating app? Like constantly checking your bank accounts. Did the money come in? Is there more money? Has money like entered my account? Checking your mailbox, right? Which uh most people don't expect checks at this point. I do. Like that's one of my favorite ways to receive money is through checks because it's like so old school. Just a random check coming in the mail. It's like that doesn't really happen, but it does because that's one way that I like to manifest. You are probably overthinking interaction. So if you're, calling in love, it's like, oh, why did I say that? Or I shouldn't have said that. And if you're manifesting money, it's like you go for a job interview and you're like, fuck, why did I say that? Why did I do that? I'm not going to get the job. And it's like constantly over analyzing. That is not alignment. That is a nervous system that is in threat and trying to secure safety through control. And if you are somebody that is in my world, somebody that is attracted to the work that I do, you probably are somebody that work works very hard for what you want. And you want something, you make it happen. And you want to learn to shift into receiving more effortlessly. When you are somebody that works hard for what you want, you probably are dysregulated and you're tense and you're bracing, and this will make it more difficult for you to receive more and more. It's not pushing it away, it's just like restricting the flow. Okay. So your mind is saying, I trust, like you've done the mindset work, you've done the, shifting your beliefs, but your body is saying, we're not safe unless this happens. And that is basically in manifestation terms, if your body is saying we are not safe, I am not safe unless this happens, then that means that I don't have it, and you shifted already back into lack before you've even begun. Okay. So what does being dysregulated in manifestation, in desire feel like? It feels like urgency. It feels like pressure. Like I've got to have this. I got to make this happen. It feels like obsessive thinking, over analyzing, emotional spikes, crashing lows. They're showing me, it's funny because the way that I receive like psychic cues or whatever, I they show me things that I've seen. And so recently I saw this TikTok of a roller coaster. And so that's what I just saw. And I'm like, ah, okay. So it's like the roller coaster of emotions. It's like, oh, the person that you're, or the people that you're dating, or, if you're calling in love, you get, and you have like a really fun interaction. It's like that can be an emotional high. Or if you sign a client, that can be an emotional high. And then it's like, oh, then the next week or the next day, you don't sign a client or they don't message you or the energy feels off. It's like then it dips and your system is less concerned with the present moment and more concerned with what's happening on this roller coaster ride, and you're dysregulated. It does not feel good. It is like the highs you think feel good, but when it's like high and then low and high and low, it doesn't actually feel good. It's fucking exhausting, okay? You're also interpreting everything. You need reassurance. It's like you need your circumstances, your outer world to prove to you that you're safe, to prove to you that the thing that you want is coming. And then also feeling like your peace depends on the outcome. This is so huge for the people that I work with, because it's like that is how you've learned to be safe and how you've learned to navigate the world is through controlling the outcome. When you are in this state, when desire feels like pressure, your system will always think that you're in danger. And that can feel really good in the moment. It's kind of like I've always felt like I work best if I wait until the last minute and then I just like, get shit done. And it's like that pressure feels really good because my system has been dysregulated. Once you shift into being regulated more of the time, it's like instead of having the emotional spikes, that can feel good because that's what you've learned to survive in. When you learn to just be more regulated, it's like the highs are not quite so high. It's not that the highs aren't high. It's just that it feels good most of the time as opposed to only when things are going good. When you are in this state, your nervous system is like I hate when I lose the words, but it's like your system believes that your unmet desire is a threat to your safety or belonging. And this is so fucking true with money because of course, I don't have the money. How am I going to do this thing? Or if the money hasn't come through, or if you're like, well, I'm stuck at this income level and I'm ready to go to the next, but it's just not happening, you will feel unsafe, even if you're not consciously thinking, oh, I'm not safe. That is what you're communicating to your body. That is what your body is believing. And it's like I'm seeing like a tornado. It's this cycle that happens. And when you learn how to spot and pull yourself out of the spiral, it becomes easier. And the more that you do it, they're like practice makes perfect. The more that you do it, the easier it becomes. And it's like then manifestation becomes just a way of life because you're regulated and it just like opens up the flow. Okay. So what does regulated desire feel like? What does it feel like to actually be regulated in this manifestation, in the receiving, right? It feels like wanting without gripping. It feels like wanting without needing. It feels good. It's like the excitement without the panic. It is openness instead of hyper focus. What they're showing me with dating, especially, it can be like a lot of people think, oh, they have like a specific person, like it has to work out with this person, especially if you're in a relationship, which, it is what it is. But like it has to work out with this person. It has to be this person instead of I deserve to be loved fully and completely. And this is how it looks, regardless of who that person ends up being. You can think about it and think about other things. Like you're not hyper focusing on this one thing that you're trying to manifest or you're trying to create. It just is like everything works out for me. Everything always works out in the best interest of me and those around me and everybody involved, right? Like it's just like this leaned back energy. And I know that if you're in this place of being dysregulated, of being like, I get what I want and I work hard for what I want and like all of this. When you hear lean back, it's like, fuck you, I don't want to lean back. Like I want to get the things that I want. Like I'm showing up for life and all of this, but I promise you it feels so much better and things come so much more effortlessly and more aligned, like better than you could have imagined when you stop trying to fucking control it and learn to be in the present moment and regulate moment to moment. Also, you will still feel like yourself. You won't feel like you're trying, like you're not trying to be somebody else. You're not trying to, be the perfect, I have the perfect mindset and I do the work and and it's just like, no, I'm me and I get to show up fully as me and the things that I desire come. And it's just peaceful. And also, you're not trying to control how it happens. And if you are somebody that likes control, this can be a change. It can be a change. And it also um, gets to delight and surprise you and feel really fucking good. Regulated desire feels like expansion. And when you're dysregulated in desire, it feels like survival because you're in survival. When your system is dysregulated, you don't receive, you monitor. You're constantly outside of yourself. You're not magnetizing, you're managing. And it's like, I'm just thinking back to like how true this was for me. And it's like when I was in it, it felt like, no, this is how it needs to be. This is how it has to be, because that's how I had always functioned. And when you learn to regulate and switch into this, you become magnetic. You become receptive. You become trusting and you don't have to constantly brace and when you spend a lifetime of bracing for your desires or bracing for something bad to happen, just constantly bracing, like it physically wears on your body. It truly does. Because bracing energy is contraction, which is not receptive. So you can't receive what your body is preparing to lose. What you constantly believe you have to work for. So I'm going to say this again. You can't receive what your body is preparing to lose. Oh, fuck, right? So here's the thing. How do you shift? You have to stop trying to convince your mind and get your fucking body on board. Breathing, like, relax into the moment. Somatic work, like really and truly paying more attention to what's happening in your body than what's happening outside of your body at any given moment. Practice non-outcome safety. Can I feel good and safe in my body, regardless of if I get the text, regardless of if this client signs up, right? Even if you're like, oh no, because I really need the money, or I don't know, because like I really want it to be this person. Okay, but in this moment, are you safe? It hasn't happened yet, but are you safe? Let desire be information, not emergency. If you're like, Ashley, I desire love, like I'm ready for a relationship. Okay, that is the direction you are headed. I need to have it right now, right? Like, and it's an emergency. It's not an emergency, okay? So less mindset work, more body regulation moment to moment. The woman or the person who manifests easily isn't the most positive. She's the most regulated. I cannot say this any other fucking way. You don't, and it's not that mindset work isn't important. Of course it's important, but you've already fucking done that. It is learning to regulate your body. It is learning to create connection between your mind and body in ways that support you not just surviving, but moving into like thriving. Um, I just laugh because it's kind of, one of those lines that's like a little bit cliche, and I hate saying things that are overused like that, but it's so true. So when you are regulated, when you are learning to manifest in this new way, you can want deeply, you can feel fully, you can release control and not abandon yourself in the process. And when you do that, you're not forcing alignment. You just become safe and sovereign and a fucking magnet to what it is that you desire, even things that you don't even know that you desire yet. So If this has been helpful for you, or if you have comments, I would love, or questions, I'd love to hear in the comments below. And I will see you in the next video.